Okay, let's try a different one. Number 2 says a surveyor traveled 32 miles by canoe and then hiked 4 miles. The rate of speed by boat was 4 times the rate on foot. If the time spent walking was 1 hour less than the time spent canoeing, find the amount of time spent traveling by canoe. Now I notice this has something that sounds like the other problem. I see the 4 times is really the same in this, but the rest of the problem is different. So use the same chart. We're not going to worry for a minute about what kind of time we're talking about. We're going to go ahead and get everything filled in the chart. Once we fill in the chart, we'll worry about our time. Okay, what are the 2 different kinds of travel we're talking about in this problem? We're traveling by what? Canoe, and we're also hiking. We're traveling by canoe, and we're hiking. So we're riding in a boat part of the way, we're walking part of the way. That's what the surveyor is doing. How far does he travel by canoe? 32 miles. How far do we hike? 4. And this says again, the rate of the boat was 4 times the rate on foot. The rate of the boat is 4 times the rate on foot. So which one's going to be X? The hiking, or the rate on foot. And the canoe's going to be 4x. We've got those same things exactly that we had before. Okay, and our time is distance divided by rate, so it's just going to be 32 divided by 4x and 4 divided by x. Okay, once you get your chart filled in, we need to worry about what kind of time we have. Do we have total time? Do we have times that are different, or do we have times that are the same? Times that are different. It tells us that something is 1 hour less. Okay, what does it tell us is 1 hour less? Which one travels 1 hour less? The hiking. The hiking or the walking is 1 hour less. So what we want to do when we set up this equation is we want to have something equal to 1, because we want to subtract their times and put it equal to 1. So if the hiking is 1 hour less, what time should I put first? Time of something minus time of something equals to 1. Which time would come first? The time of the canoe minus of the time for the hiking should be equal to 1, since it told us that the hiking's time was 1 hour less. So the smaller time has got to come second, so that when you subtract the times, you get 1. So when you're reading a problem and it talks about one of them traveling longer or one of them traveling a shorter time, that's the key, that where their times differ and you want to do the subtraction. So let's get rid of this problem, and so the time for the canoe was 32 over 4x, minus the time for the hiking is 4 over x, and that's equal to 1. This one's so similar to the other one, I'm going to wait just a minute, give you a minute to work this, and then we'll check the answer. What is everybody multiplying by? 4x. I'm going to write that step up here. I'll give you a minute. get for our answer to this? As far as just solving this equation, what do we get for x? Well, let's see what you get. We cancel out our 4x's. That will give us 32. We cancel out our x's here, we get 16. So we're left with 4x. So 32 minus 16 is just 16 equals to 4x. So if we divide by 4, our answer is 4. Now, let's see if that's what they wanted though. Okay, so let's go back to our chart. Got x is 4. So in my chart, I found that my hiking rate is 4 miles per hour. But let's look at the question. The question doesn't ask for the hiking rate, it asks for time. It says find the amount of time spent traveling by canoe. They want to know how long did we spend traveling by canoe. Where in our chart would we have the time spent traveling by canoe? The 32 over the 4x. That's the time spent traveling by canoe. So we've got to do 32 over this 4 times x. I've got to divide 32 by what? 16. So actually the answer is 2. And I heard somebody say that. The answer is 2. Okay. So the time spent would be 2 hours. Now what happens in these problems, once you get your x, you can answer all kinds of questions. You've just got to make sure you answer the one they ask. So you need to see, because we could have gotten their rate hiking, we could have gotten their rate canoeing, then we could have gotten both of these times. All right, as a practice problem, I want everybody to do this number 3. An express train travels 600 miles in the same amount of time it takes a freight train to travel 360 miles. The rate of the express train is 20 miles per hour faster than that of the freight train. Find the rate of each train. Copy the problem down and then use the same chart we've been using and fill in the blanks. Those of you that are doing this on the videotape, once you copy the problem down, cut the problem off and work it, and once you've gotten it worked, cut it back on and see if you have the correct answer. How do we distinguish between the two kinds of trains in this problem? We want to call them what? Express and freight. And the distances are 600 for the express and for the freight, 360. When it talks about the rate here, the express is 20 miles per hour faster than the freight. That makes the freight x and makes the express x plus 20. There's nothing wrong with putting 20 plus x, but generally we put the number on the right-hand side. It's like 20 more. The reason you have to add here instead of multiply, because it doesn't say the express train is 20 times faster. It just says it's 20 miles per hour faster. It's like saying if one was going 50 miles per hour, the other would be going 20 more or 70, so you've got to add to get that. So make sure you have adding here, not multiplying. So our division part here is 600 over x plus 20 and 360 over x. Then you've got to decide which of these categories it fits in. Does it give you a total time? Does it give a difference in their times, or does it say their times are equal? Which of these would it be? And the same amount of time means the times are equal. We've got equal times, so all you do is just set these things equal to each other. 600 over x plus 20 equals to 360 over x.